As many of you know, I'm a big fan of board games and card games outside of mobile and console gaming as well, and Star Realms is one of our most played card games. It is a deck building game, which means everyone starts with exactly the same cards, the exact same options on the table in front of them, and it's your decisions throughout the game that matter. It was originally designed by one of the same guys who designed Magic the Gathering, and it has a global popular following, and there is an Android and iOS app for this as well that is honestly well worth your time, even if this is not normally your kind of thing. In today's video, we're going to be stepping away from Eve Echoes briefly to talk about another mobile space game that I reckon a whole bunch of you are going to really enjoy, because this one is completely free to start and it is entirely modular as to how you choose to spend on it, which is quite frankly amazing. I reckon you'll really enjoy this, so hopefully you'll stick around for this video while I showcase Star Realms. Ahoy there folks, I'm Captain Benzie and welcome back to another mobile gaming recommendation video. If you do enjoy this video, please let me know, hit like on it, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and please comment down below if you want to see more of this kind of thing, whether it's this particular game you want to see more of, or whether you want a particular game that you play covered as well. Let me know what you think, let me know your thoughts, I am always open to suggestions. Otherwise, let's jump right into Star Realms. Now, whenever I talk about a mobile game, one of the first things I like to cover is the monetization, because it tends to be the big issue at the back of people's heads, I find. So, with Star Realms, the first thing to note is this game is completely free to download. You can download it, you can get playing, you can go through the tutorial, you can do single player, multiplayer, online and offline with no payments required, and that alone is absolutely fantastic. Now, if you do enjoy the game, you can go into the store and you can buy the various different expansions. If you play Star Realms sort of in real life, you'll see that you can buy various different base games. There's Star Realms, Frontiers, and Colony Wars. Those three different base games give you the starter deck for so many players and a major center trade deck that you can use, and all three of those boxes differ in what's in their trade deck. Then there are all kinds of expansions that add new ships, new bases, events, missions, heroes, all kinds of stuff, and you can scroll up and down this list here to add those to it. Now, these are actually a lot cheaper than the physical cards as well, which is something I do quite like, especially since we live in a golden age where you can get all kinds of transactions that are just ridiculously expensive in games. In a short example of that, recently I know some folks who have been complaining about Overwatch, the fact that a charm chain that you can get in Overwatch 2 actually costs more than the exact same thing would in real life. But here you can see that I think the most expensive ones here are about $6-7, most of them around the $2 mark. Now, ultimately, you always start with the base set. It's then up to you if you want to add more stuff. The ones I would certainly recommend starting with are the Frontiers stuff. The Frontiers box is a really good box. Somewhere in here, the Assault is a really good one as well, because it has mixed faction ships that get the game going a lot faster, as does Command. Command and Assault are both two of my favorites. Colony Wars is another big one that adds a whole ton of cards to the game. And then right towards the top, we have Events, if you like a little bit of randomness. There is a lot to unpack with this game already, and I know I've thrown some suggestions at you without even talking about what the game's about, so I think we should probably do that, right? Let's go into the versus AI. I'm going to jump in on this and we're going to give it a game up against the computer. Now, the medium is a strong challenge for me. Easy, I overcome 9 times out of 10. Medium, I'm probably a 4 out of 10 player on this. Hard, I have yet to even beat. And you can see that I'm playing this without any of the expansions actually purchased. I do need to get around to adding some of those in just to get the additionals. As I'm saying, the ones I'm recommending are ones that I use in real life and our gaming group absolutely loves. Anyway, let's jump in to start the game, because I know card games are one of these things that have a little bit of a sort of a high learning curve. People get confused by them easily. Now, when you start a game of Star Realms, you and your opponent have the exact same deck of cards. 10 cards, 2 of which are called Vipers, we'll talk about them in a second, and 8 of which are Scouts. Now, when you look at a card in this game, if it has that yellow symbol on it, that is purchase power. If it has one of these red symbols on it, that is combat potential. You basically add up all of your combat potential, you then throw that against your player to take their life from 50 down to 0. And the purchase power we use to basically buy cards from the center of the table, the trade deck, in order to make our deck more powerful. Now, you can just go for play all, but I like to showcase that you can do this because order does matter later on. Now, by playing those 2 Vipers, you can see on the right-hand side, I have increased my combat potential to 2. I can now smack the medium AI player there down to 48 health. I'm then going to play 3 Scouts to get me 3 trade value. I can then look at stuff in the center of the board and see what our options are. Now, cards come again with all these different abilities. The card number in the top right, that yellow circle with the number 1 in it here on this Federation shuttle, is its cost, its value, and how much it costs in trade in order to buy that each turn. Your trade does not carry over from turn to turn, so you do want to use it to the best of your ability. You can see that this ship, when played, will generate 2 trade, whereas the Scouts were only generating 1 trade. It then has this little icon underneath it of 4 in a green sort of shield. That means you would heal for life when you play this card, but with the symbol next to it, only if you have another Federation ship out. If you look at the top left of this, you can see it has that same blue star symbol. In fact, one of the other cards here, the Trading Post, this also has that blue star symbol, so if I had a Trading Post and that Federation shuttle out, then that Federation shuttle's second ability, the one like marked by that blue star, would also trigger. It's worth talking briefly as well, looking at this particular Trading Post. This is a outpost. This is a base. Now, bases are not discarded at the end of your turn, whereas all other cards are. These stay in play, and they come in 2 types, outposts and bases. Now, an outpost has this black shield in the bottom right with the word outpost above it and a number. You have to deal that much damage to the outpost to destroy it, and you must destroy all outposts before you can target the player. They're like shields, basically. There are also silver ones, which are referred to as bases. Those will have health as well. You need to do all of that damage in 1 turn to destroy it, but bases don't stop people from attacking you. An outpost, they have to kill first. A base, they can choose to kill first. Now, of course, it'd be pretty boring if there were just 1 color type, right? So there are 4. We've already seen the blue Federation using that blue star. There's also the machines. I can't actually examine these cards properly. You can kind of see in the middle trade row there are some red ones. Those are the machine cult, which are all about sort of thinning your own deck out, getting rid of all the chaff out of your own deck. There are the green ones, which are the blob. They are sort of a Tyranid-esque bioorganism race that floats through space. They are very aggressive, very high damage cards, but don't really have much in the way of defenses. Then the yellow ones are the Star Imperium. Those are all about draw and discard mechanics. They get you to draw extra cards, or draw a card, then discard a card, allowing you to choose what's in your hand each turn. Whereas they also have a lot of making your opponent discard cards, so they start their turn with fewer options. Finally, there are always options of these things called Explorers. These are fantastic in the early game because, well, they give you 2 trade. Rather than getting a Scout with only 1 trade, you can have one of these getting you 2 trade, allows you to buy bigger things, and that little dustbin icon means you can scrap the card, remove it from the game to get that effect. In this case, it means you can buy a load of Explorers to buy big things, then when you're done with them, you can scrap them for additional combat potential. Now here I have 3 trade. I quite like the concept at this point of buying a Trading Post because that's going to give me some defenses. You'll see that goes into my discard pile. I don't get to use it yet. I need to wait until such time as I get all my cards back. Little bit of damage from the enemy there. Now you'll see in my turn I've got 5 scouts. I'm going to play all of those for 5 trade. This gives us the option now to actually have a look at some of these others. Here you can see the battle mech. This is a machine cult card. It generates 4 attack power, and you can scrap a card in your hand or discard pile. And you might be thinking, why would I want to destroy my own cards? Well, think about it. You've got all these cool ships in your deck and you really want to draw them to do things, but you keep drawing those scouts and vipers, right? Well, by scrapping them, you thin the deck down so you're only getting the cards you want. If I have more machine cult, it allows me to draw a card as well, which is always a really nice thing. For For the time being though, we've got a freighter over here for a whole bunch of extra trade value every single turn, plus the ability to put the next ship I acquire this turn on top of my deck. And we've got another station. This is a defense center, once again an outpost, so it'd have to be destroyed first, and it's going to heal me or generate 2 life every single turn as well. And if I have other blue ships or blue cards out, then I'm going to get an additional 2 combat from that. Now, I do already have a station in my deck. I don't necessarily want another one. I'm not really sure I want the freighter, though it would twin quite nicely once that station is out. So for now, I'm just going to buy the Federation shuttle, because this only costs 1. Now, a new card comes out of the trade deck, and it's a green blob station for 5 that I can't afford, so yeah, we're going to grab that freighter with the remaining 4. That's my turn done. Computer is going to do their thing. We shuffle my discard pile to create my deck again, and suddenly I've got a load of new cards, including loads of those options. So now you can see I can put out that Federation ship we saw earlier. I've got my freighter as well. Next ship that I choose will go on top of my deck rather than into the discard pile, which is awesome. And with 2 scouts as well, that is 8 purchase potential. That's really quite nice. Now at this point, I quite like these battle mechs. They're very powerful cards. That ability to thin your deck is always very nice, so I'm going to grab one of those. I've got 3 trade left. I could buy a ram, but I've already got blue and red cards. I'm not sure I want to start committing to green, so I'm just going to buy myself an explorer, be stuck with that 1 trade left over, and off we go. 1 point of damage against the AI. That is my turn over. New cards are drawn at the end of your turn in case your opponent makes you forced to discard. Oh look, we have that battle mech. So I'm going to play that battle mech straight off. I'm going to select a card in my discard pile. Let's get rid of one of those Vipers. I don't want to have to keep drawing that, so that is now gone. I can put my station in play that we saw before, and I get the choice here of do I want trade value or do I want to gain life. So let's put out my other 2 scouts. Now I've got 2 trade. Is there anything that I would really want to buy for 3? No, there just simply isn't, so we'll go for the extra life there, and I will buy myself a Explorer to get some more trade and possibly combat potential later. I've got 5 total damage here, which I'm going to hit the player against me with. 47 down to 42 next turn. Draw cards, shuffle the discard pile back in, draw again. My opponent plays his round. He's clearly going for the Star Empire, and you saw he attacked my station, not me. Can't attack my station. Can't attack me because the station is basically in the way. So we now come to the next turn for me. Let's play all of those scouts in one go. There we go, and have a look at what my options are. Now, there are some interesting ones here actually, because I really like the Star Imperium. They're probably my favourite faction in the game. Yes, I've already gone red and blue. Blue can be very nicely twinned with these, but here target opponent discards a card, and again, target opponent discards a card. There's some nice combat potential there. Yeah, we're gonna do it. I can't resist. I cannot resist, so we're gonna grab those. I'm left with 1 trade, nothing to do with it, end my turn. Ah, that's an interesting hand. Okay, I'm going to get something on top of my deck again. I've got a load of explorers, lots of trade value here. Is going to be pretty cool. So let's put these 2 out, and you'll see that they do now twin those abilities. You just saw the one on the left got me 4 life. That's thanks to its second ability there, twinning off the second ship. Let's add the 2 explorers and the scout to the equation as well. We see we've got 11 purchase value. At this point, getting a station that will twin with yellow seems like a good idea. That's going to go into the discard pile. Oh, look at that. It's a red ship. Yeah, let's put that on top of the deck, because I get the sneaky feeling that next turn I might be drawing some red cards. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. But hey, we've currently got no combat potential this turn. I could sacrifice both of my explorers there to gain 2 combat each, but my opponent has a station in the way, and I'm going to have to destroy that first, basically. And I'm just not sure I want to get rid of those explorers yet. That 2 trade value is really nice. At the same token, though, I do have a lot of other trade value ships going on, so yeah, screw it, we're going to do it. We're going to scrap those 2 explorers, and we're going to blow up his station, and then it's his turn, because we're out of combat potential and we don't have enough trade to buy anything else. And oh look, I was right. I do have more red cards this turn. Okay, I would like to have a look at what's in the trade row, because if I have to scrap a card, do I want to scrap a Viper and lose its combat potential, or do I want to scrap one of the scouts and 2? And yeah, I could buy an explorer, so we're going to get rid of that Viper this turn. That's because he played an ability on me that forced me to discard a card. Now, if we look at these again, you're going to see, I'm going to play this one first. I'm going to scrap a card in my hand or discard pile. We'll get rid of a Viper. It's not always the best to go for Vipers. Sometimes you can go for Scouts, but hey, there we go. Here, I can destroy target base. This is really cool because I can destroy that base without actually having to attack it. Boom! And it twins nicely with my other one here, allowing me to draw a card. So, let's put all of these into play as well. Down they go. It's a whole bunch of trade. Nothing I really want to buy in the middle though, which is really annoying. It's all off color for me. And I could go for some stuff, I suppose. The blob carrier's nice. It's 7 attack for 6. The mothership's only 6 attack for 7, but it does allow me to draw a card. Screw it, we're going to go for the mothership. It's just an okay card on its own. I'm never going to get to use that green ability on there to draw a card because I don't have any other blob ships. But screw it, we're going to hit this guy for 10 damage. Nice big animation there as we do. My next hand comes out and there's that yellow station. We can hope it will survive. You can see my opponent's playing stations as well. Oh, this is about to get interesting. He's done some damage to me. My turn. No discarding a card this turn, so I'm going to start off with the recycling station because I can discard 2 cards, then draw that many cards, and that is what I'm going to do. I don't necessarily want that trade value, so let's discard 2 of the Scouts, get rid of those, and draw 2 different cards instead. And oh, would you look at that? We get the Imperial Fighter, which makes him discard a card from that first ability, and it's generated the additional 2 combat because it twins off the recycling station. Yay! Let's put all the other cards down now. What do we have? We've got 4 trade and 4 combat. Well, the 4 combat has to destroy a station because it's the only thing left. As for trade, oh, it looks like I'm going to be quadruple colouring this deck. We've got blue, we've got red, we've got yellow. Do I really want to go green at this point? It would help the mothership. Nope, screw it. We're going to grab 2 explorers. Explorers are always fun. I think people underestimate them a lot, or maybe I overestimate them. I don't know. My opponent discards a card like he had to, start of his turn. Oh, and he blows up my station, so I'm not going to get that capability. We're going to get rid of a Scout because I have to discard. Yeah, that would have been nice. I would have been able to get that 2 additional damage had he not destroyed my station, but there we go. We are going to put this one out first, and we can gain either 1 health or 1 trade. Let's put all our trade cards out. I've got 3 trade. Is there anything that I want for 4? No, so we'll grab the health with that one. I will grab that survey ship for 3, and oh my goodness, there is a card that I really want. Dropping this though, my target opponent has to destroy a card, which is always nice. We've got a command ship sitting there, draw 2 cards. Oh, and that 4 health and 5 damage and the ability to destroy target base every turn as well. Now I've got 4 damage, I'm going to take out that space station. I now need to decide, do I want to destroy other things? Do I destroy that to draw a card? No, 2, no, 3, no. I'd have to destroy both of those to get rid of that outpost because it's got 5 health. Okay, so let's see what will happen next turn. Oh, we've got a freighter. If I can't afford anything else, at least I'll have that freighter. So we're going to start off with the missile mech. Destroy target base. Bye-bye defense center. That is gone. Now we're going to add in the scout and the explorers and scout, and we're going to add in a freighter. Remember, the freighter means that card goes to the top of the deck. We're going to take that command ship. Oh, look, that's going onto the top of the deck. I'm guaranteed to get that next turn. On this side, I don't need trade value, so we're going to heal, and I'm going to get rid of that Explorer just to do a 2 little bit of sneaky extra damage there. 8 damage, my turn is over. Let's have a look. Oh, yes, we get the twin abilities off both of those ships there, even though the station has been destroyed because they twin off each other. That's always going to be nice. So we're going to start by playing this one, and then this one. Oh, look, I get to draw 2 cards, and I get the life from that first one. Now, the mothership then allows me to draw a card again, always nice, and the interceptor frigate, well, yeah, that doesn't really do anything other than force him to discard. It's not like I can do anything crazy and start drawing a load more cards, but let's drop all the rest of those scouts in. We can scroll left and right here to see what's going on. Destroy target base. Yep, absolutely, I am going to do that, and I'm going to get rid of this one here because it's the one blocking me. I'm not sure I really care about the hive. The ability to draw a card if you draw green is nice, and 3 damage is nice, but at the same time, oh, I don't know. No, I'm just going to hit him for 13 because he's on such low life now. At the end of that, it just feels worth it. Now, the blob carrier, do I want to go for you? Yeah, acquire any ship without paying its cost. That's a nice thing. I've got a couple of greens in there. Chances of me getting them pretty slim, but if it works out, it's all good. There's my next turn sorted. Oh, and we got the command ship back. Sadly, no blue directly, but we might yet draw some blues. I don't know. I'm going to get to draw... yow, that was a lot of damage. I'm going to get to draw a card from that. Draw 2 cards. And we did get a blue one. Nice. So I get the ability to destroy target base, which is always nice. This time around, which one are we going to go for? Let's cancel out and actually have a look at these two. We've got the Hive, which is 3 combat and the possibility of drawing a card. Or we've got the Blob Wheel, which... yeah, no, it's going to be the Hive, isn't it? It's going to be the Hive. That's just a nastier card. We're going to pull out the mech here. I don't have anything in my discard pile, so let's actually cancel that for a second. I've currently got 2 trade. If I put another 4 down, that's 6 trade. Does that get me anything special that I wouldn't be able to get otherwise? I guess I could get a missile bot and a survey ship, or a missile bot and a freight. No, screw it. We're going to go down here. We are going to select one of the scouts to get rid of. That's now gone. We're going to just play all for this round. I don't care about the 5. I want that missile bot. And nothing interesting came out, so we're going to grab an explorer. Now, with that 9 combat damage, we're going to take our opponent down to 2, end the turn, and watch as everything goes completely Pete Tong now, because this is what always happens when we reach this part of the game. Oh, there was some nasty damage there. Yep, let's get rid of that one. And we're going to go in with a frigate. We're going to go in with that mothership, draw a card. Oh yes, we get the yellow for the twinning ability. Very nice, and 2 trades. 2 trades, nothing overly special. 16 damage, screw it, we don't need the rest of the turn. We're just going to blap this guy down like that. Nice and simple. He says, having spoken at the speed of light for the last goodness knows how many minutes, and probably confused the ever-living hell out of all of you. Now, the game does have a fantastic how-to-play section that will guide you through, and I promise you, this is one of the more popular games in our gaming group. A lot of the guys in our gaming group weren't actually like board gamers or card gamers before I came along. It's a very easy game to pick up. It might look confusing at first, but it's very easy to pick up, and there's so much depth going on in this. And if you like this, if you find yourself enjoying it, not only do you have that versus AI mode, we have a campaign where you can actually go through missions. It's like a storyline, and again, as you buy other packs, you add more to that as well. You can even play online and go up against other players. As you can see, I haven't set that up on this device since reinstalling this. Ultimately, there's even the pass and play option. What's that? You've got a load of friends who are keen on this as well, but you don't necessarily want to play online because you're sitting on a car somewhere, or a ferry, or an aeroplane. You can just load this up, you take your turn, you pass the phone to them, they take their turn, they pass the phone back to you. I love this kind of stuff. That is frankly amazing. And this is Star Realms. I love this game so much as an actual physical card game. I do have a massive box full of the cards and expansions. Ultimately, I love playing it on the app, and every time I've taught someone how to play this game, I recommend they buy the app, well, download the app for free, give it a go, and help them learn the game that way. Now, yes, okay, admittedly, we've got, like, the Frontiers pack and that, which isn't included in the main game, but it doesn't need to be. The concepts of learning the game, of how to play and how you need to think from turn to turn, are taught without any of these. But again, if you do end up interested in this and fancy just picking up a couple of them, I strongly recommend, first of all, the Frontiers pack. This adds an 80-card trade deck and 2 new campaign chapters. That's already really cool. And then the Assault and Command expansions shown here, those are both fantastic as well. They only add 12 new cards, but those cards are both, like, say, red and blue, or green and yellow, which means they trigger abilities much faster, and it makes for much more complex decks, and things just pick up really quickly. And if, like me, you're in the sort of, you're a fan of a bit of RNG in your games, the events deck is absolutely worth your time as well. Basically, an event card is a new card that will come out of the trade deck, and then just random stuff happens. Sometimes it will blow up one of your stations, sometimes it will get you to draw more cards, sometimes it just deals straight up damage to you. There's all kinds of crazy stuff that can go on with those events. They are good fun if you like a bit of randomness. Anyway, folks, that's Star Realms. I strongly recommend this game to anyone who enjoys some kind, like these kind of competitive games. It's a great fun game, even just to play solo. I'm sitting here and I've just played against the computer, and I had so much fun doing that. And not just because I won, I honestly have a lot of fun even when I lose, which is why I go up against the medium most of the time. I do go up against the hard just to really push myself. One of these days, I'm sure that I will manage to beat them. If you play Star Realms, or if you're keen on trying this out, please let me know how you get on in the comment section down below. If you play the game, let me know what your favourite faction and favourite card is, and if you think I'm missing one of the key expansions if you play this game at all, let me know. Would love to know your thoughts. I'm always happy to expand that set out further for us to play even more. Otherwise, folks, thanks for watching right the way through to the end. Good luck if you do give this one a try. I hope you enjoy it half as much as I do. Otherwise, happy sailing and see you all next time.